Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews Today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We're on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, brace yourself for more taxes as petrol and diesel vehicle owners will be paying 100 cedis annually if the new tax bills go through Parliament. We have details for you this afternoon. Also, this afternoon, Office of the Special Prosecutor chases 6 MPP delegates for corruption and corruption-related offences following the party's orphan constituency parliamentary elections. Plus, we'll be telling you the story of how a teacher, Eunice Asiedue Japan, was transferred to teach in a non-existent school in Noka. Details of all of this, plus business, showbiz, and world news coming up shortly. My name is Aisha Huang. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, via JoyNews TV. My personal handle on X is @Denana Aisha. Please stay for details. Former Deputy Attorney General Joseph Dindiok Bemka says the Office of the Special Prosecutor will be faced with a huge task of proving alleged vote buying by aspirants vying for various positions in political parties. It follows the OSP's declaration of some 6 MPP delegates as wanted for corruption and corruption-related offences in the party's orphan constituency primary elections. We'll hear from the former Deputy AG shortly, but first, here is Nana Boachi Yadom with an overview of instances of vote buying in Ghana's political space.
Which the voter sells his or her vote to the highest bidder. In such attempts, the giver hopes to produce instrumental and normative compliance to successfully gear recipients to change their electoral behavior in exchange for tangible rewards. While the 2 major political parties continue to preach against corruption in Ghana, it has become a common act to induce votes during internal and external elections. The NDC presidential and parliamentary primaries for election 2024 witnessed instances where delegates were seen rushing for cash at Jurase Chudumase during the entry of parliamentary aspirant Juliana Kinan Wassan. Her infamous act caught the attention of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. She was invited to aid in investigating her on corruption and corruption-related offences. At the Kumewu and Asim North by-elections, both the NDC and the MPP were accused of inducing voters to influence their votes. The NPP's presidential primary also witnessed an intensive display of cash from leading candidates to influence the votes of delegates.
My issue now is since the candidates started their tour, my coordinator has seized my money, getting 2,200 cedis.
I received 300 cedis from Kennedy Japan's camp and 400 cedis from Honorable Baumia, Dr. Baumia camp.
The widespread accusation of money sharing was confirmed by Sami Oku, campaign manager for Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. But speaking on the pro-vote MFA appeal, Mr. Oku said the alleged 400 cedis distributed to delegates by his candidate was not to influence their votes.
These major political parties, they always give support, the aspirants. The NPP as a political party gave support to these delegates to also help assess them in their transportation.
At the just ended NPP parliamentary primary in orphan constituencies, delegates were seen displaying cash purported to have come from some aspirants.
That's a lot of money. Oh.
You need more.
Yeah, I need more money. Show me more money.
What can I show to you?
And you got all this just today?
Yesterday, just a few hours. Because I sacrificed my money.
Yeah. A bag full of cash.
Wow.
At At a Jurassic Dumase, some delegates refused to cast their vote if aspirants failed to induce them.
We will go
and cast our vote if they bring us the money they promised.
Scanning by
no money, no vote.
Some individuals captured in JoyNews' report during the just-ended MPP primaries in orphan constituencies are being pursued by the OSP for engaging in acts of corruption and corruption-related offences. Speaking to JoyNews on the widespread practice, the fundraising manager at the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Michael Boadi, said there is a need for a legislation to criminalize vote buying in the country.
As a people, now that we are talking about it, what we need to be doing is to be looking at having a black and white legislation that criminalizes vote buying. You know, the whole vote buying thing had been defined hinging on the intention to influence a voting decision. And therefore, when one argues that, well, our intention is not to influence voting decision, they think they can get away with it. We must look at tightening a piece of legislation and ensure that it is wrong and it is criminal.
The Representation of People Law 1992, PNDC Law 284, as amended PNDC Law 2961, Section 33, provides that a person commits the offense of bribery if he or she makes a gift or provides something of value to a voter to induce the vote in a certain way. This, if tenaciously adhered to, will no doubt launch Ghana into an enduring democratic process. But if the leading political actors continue to encourage and indulge in vote buying, the practice would dent the true democratic governance in Ghana. For JoyNews, Nana Boachidan Kwayatom, Kumasi.
We can now hear from the former Deputy AG Joseph Kwemka, who believes it will be a tall order for the OSP to prove these allegations. He spoke on the probe with MFR Power.
The investigation will then establish who gave it to them. Exactly. And what was the purpose. You know, if you are giving a person an amount of, let's say, 200 cedis or 300 cedis, there may be justification for transportation and fees. But if you give 2,000, what would be the motive behind that 2,000 cedis you gave to a particular delegate and etc.? Is it meant to influence the person? So that is also going to be on the basis of evidence that was met. And remember that in law, the actus reus and then the intent will have to coincide for you to secure a conviction. There must be an intent to influence, and then the act itself will have to be committed. Okay. So if those two ingredients are available, then before any court, you could secure a conviction. So here, the difficulty, as I've said, is that it's a very, very difficult situation to establish, because sometimes witnesses may not even be ready and forthcoming with evidence that indeed the money that was offered to them was bribe.
Reason. Well, Deputy General Secretary of the party, Haruna Mohammed, has been responding to the OSP.
First, there has not been any reportage with respect to vote buying that has been brought to the disciplinary committee's attention that has not been discharged. What we continue to ask for is that many a times these allegations are made out there. When party officers' attention are drawn to that, we refer the matter to the disciplinary and grievance procedures, that when this matter comes to our attention, or the body that was supervising the election, i.e. the national officers that were there, if this matter is reported and indicated in the report for investigation, these matters will be investigated. So these matters has not come properly before the party for investigation.
How should it come properly? Who should bring it to the party?
Because we have representatives at the election centers. So when they see that things that are happening are going against the laws that...
But the delegates themselves were happy about it, declaring it, showing us how happy they are. They've eaten, they've given money. Someone going away with more than 2,000 cedis, amongst others. Who then will be there and come and report when they are beneficiaries of what is going on?
They were showing to you, but our officers on the ground did not see that. We are seeing this as you are showing, but when you say we ask for evidence, I am seeing pictorial evidence of people holding money, but I have not seen who is giving them the money. So I find it very difficult to investigate such
But you've seen the takers and those giving are all culpable, aren't they? And you've seen those who took it. At least the first step is
I can't tell whether he took it from an aspirant because he's holding the money.
But the first step is to at least reach out to the people that you know who are your delegates. Then you can take it from there. Is that not
the point? Is that why you will be investigating? You would cost a case on yourself and investigate that. The point is that the person is holding the money. Who gave the person the money? I don't know. Nobody too has also reported that a bribe has been given or vote has been bought anywhere. So invariably, the party cannot investigate a shadow.
Still on the NPP, flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is on a one-day visit to the Upper West region. The purpose is to thank the executives for electing him to lead the party. He will later pay a courtesy call on the WANA as courtesy and customs demand.
Today is 4th of November, isn't it? 4th of December. A month ago on 4th of November, we were voting for the flag bearer of the party. You were all voting. On that fateful day, we were sitting there and waiting. We all voted and were waiting and waited and waited. And then the results started coming in. And then they came in and I saw Upper West. And I said, Alhamdulillah.
In Parliament, if you use a petrol and diesel vehicle, you will pay 100 cedis every year as part of the new tax measures introduced by government in Parliament. According to the bill, this policy is aimed at getting Ghanaians to use more cleaner sources of energy like electric vehicles. The minority have vowed to oppose this new tax measure. We can go to Parliament and speak with Kweku Asante, who is our parliamentary correspondent. Kweku, at what stage is this bill currently? Hello, Kweku. Okay, so we've lost Kweku briefly. We'll get Kweku Asante back on to tell us more about where we are, the stage at which we are with this new bill, which the minority says it will oppose. But to news just in, we are hearing that Aisha Huang, the Galamsey kingpin, has been jailed. We can cross over to the court and speak with my colleague James Aveji to tell us more. Can you confirm that Aisha Huang has been jailed, James?
Yes, Aisha Ibrahim, the court has just sentenced her on 4 counts. We know that initially, the last time the matter was in court about a month ago, the case was adjourned based on 3 counts. One is that she was undertaking illegal mining or mining without operating license, and that too, she facilitated the participation of persons engaged in illegal operations and the illegal employment of foreigners who entered the country without proper documentation. And so, after about over 2 hours of reading of the judgment, the judge, her ladyship, concluded that, in fact, looking at all the evidence before the court, she is convinced that, in fact, the prosecutors did a thorough job in adducing enough evidence that got her guilty over all the 3 counts. In fact, in her words, she says that she wished she had the right to impose a full sentence from the Uriel, which would allow her to impose a full sentence on her. But from all that she has reviewed, she's saying that Aisha Huang has abused the hospitality extended to her by this country, and she's also gone further to abuse the initial repatriation that was given to her by coming back to Ghana to do the work to the country. She noted that illegal mining has become a national fight, and therefore the law must go before chiefs and landowners who give out lands to people to do that. And so in her sentencing, for instance, for count 1 and 2, she actually sentenced her to a 3,000 penalty unit of fine. Now, if she is unable to pay the 3,000 penalty unit, she said that she would have to go to prison for 4.5 years, 4 years, 6 months, in default of the 3,000 penalty unit for the count 1 and 2, and an additional 4.5 years, which means that she's going to pay the 3,000 penalty unit and also serve a prison sentence of 4.5 years. On count 3, she has sentenced her to 12 months imprisonment, and on count 4, she fined her 1,000 penalty units, and in default, she would go to prison for 3 years. And so all of this will run concurrently. And so if you should look at it, what it means is that the highest will be her judgment or her sentencing on count 1 and 2, which is a 3,000 penalty unit. In default, goes to prison 4.5 years, or in addition, 4.5 years. And so that's what her sentencing has been so far, Aisha.
Were you able to speak with her lawyers, James?
In fact, the case has not been entirely come to a conclusion yet. She just read her sentences. Her lawyers actually made some remarks before her sentencing. They pleaded that the judge take into consideration the fact that she had complied with the court and the security officer since she was arrested somewhere earlier this year, and that she had already served some time in prison, and so the judge to consider all of those. That was the only initial comment we had from her lawyers, and then we heard from the state counsel as well, who pleaded with the court to look at the evidence and the devastation her activities have caused to the nation and grant them the wish to sentence her in prison. And so we'll be looking forward to hear from the lawyers after all is said and done and she has been taken out of the courtroom.
James Aveji bringing us the details from court. Definitely will bring you more once this case is concluded, but definitely Aisha Huang has been found guilty of mining offenses. We can now go back to Parliament, where we're told that we'll be paying 100 cedis every year as part of new tax measures if you use petrol or diesel vehicles. And the bill says that the policy is aimed at getting Ghanaians to use more cleaner sources of energy, including electric vehicles. The minority, however, say they will oppose this new tax measure. Kweku Asante has joined us now. Kweku, what stage are we with this bill?
Aisha has been introduced in the House. They've been referred to the Finance Committee. They are going to work on it. In the coming days, the Finance Committee will be expected to present a report on this to the House. But like you said, the minority have said that they are going to reject this. In fact, it comes with a panoply of regulations that says that, after this year, it's going to go up by 20%, because the 20% increase in the taxes on that. There are a number of such regulations in this tax measure that has been placed before the House. This tax will cover almost all cars in Ghana, because the significant majority of cars in Ghana use either petrol or diesel, and that will mean they are covered by this new tax that government is seeking to impose. So if this goes through, you're going to pay 100 cedis every year when you go to the BDNA, either get a roadworthy in particular or register your new car. Pay 100 Ghana cedis before that process will go to Aisha.
So I'm curious to know, Kweku, was this tax measure announced in the 2024 budget that was presented to the House?
That will be read. We'll have taxes that are coming in. But this time, the finance minister decided not to do that. In his speech that he read before, it did not mention at all that there was going to be this tax or any of the numerous taxes that are coming in. In fact, it is the minority leaders debate on the floor that actually exposed or actually brought this to light. The government is seeking to amend the laws as to where the VAT in particular and the excise regulations actually introduce this and of course with other new taxes. The minority says this will sum up to about 11 billion Ghana cedis, and that is what they say to approach. You recall John Jumabo make that claim before the finance minister made his presentation to Parliament the next day. The finance minister on the floor did not mention this at all, but through some digging, these bills have now been put before Parliament and seeking to introduce this. It did not come in the budget that was read by the minister, but it has come in the form of bills as part of the budget.
Gwegwa Asante is our man in Parliament, definitely. There's more we'll be bringing you from Parliament in our subsequent bulletins. Let's get on to other stories. Spoiled batteries on hand, plywood on the floor, pupils on their knees painting. That was a sight that greeted our news team at Noka MA Basic School in the Eastern Region. Beginning season 3 of our Schools of Shame series, will tell you the story of how Eunice Asiedwe Japan was transferred to teach in a non-existent school in Noka. We'll also tell you about how vehicular knockdowns has for years forced parents in Noka to prevent their children from going to school. This is a story by Mano Jeveno and Seriam Ablandi Souza.
In the heart of the Eastern Region lies Sanoka, a colorful farming community that holds a tale of determination, resilience, and a hunger for education. But in this community, a silent struggle exists. Noka, with its warm-hearted people, lack a fundamental pillar for its children, a school. For years, children trekked several kilometers to distant communities to access education. But in their quest to quench their thirst for knowledge, they get knocked down by speeding vehicles. As a result, many parents stop their children from going to school.
Sometimes me yam shesheme ya had the school kola obi wo ho to me say chio no gina kwan nim na class gina wo say chen me ma me yi ende bebre aha kwan de aye my school for na bebre na se akromo si obi wo kwan so ya ka na ebo no enkola mpanyifo ye yan ha abo wa unya wutin didim coded flat can say aye yan mpanyifo kra ka bobo yen ebi wo boniti na atetew aban so bema yembidia yesren yempese mo friend betwa kwan ni makobie
Meet Eunice Asiedwe Japan, a trained teacher. In May 2023, she requested to be transferred to teach in the Eastern Region. That was the only way to be close to home and take care of her aged parents. Eunice was excited when her request was approved, and she had been transferred to Noka MA Basic School. Her excitement soon fades when she discovered Noka Basic School does not exist.
I seek for assurance in Sawoma Doji Municipal, and I was given Noka Primary School. So it was Noka MA Primary School. That was what was on the letter. So I proceed and I had the release. So this academic year, that is 2023-2024 academic year, that was when I was released. So right after I had to bring my document to the municipal. So when I got there, I had to pass by the school to see where the school is located and how the place is. But when I came, when I met the town folks, I asked, I'm coming to Noka, and they told me the school is not yet completed. So when they told me that, I was surprised.
Now we are not schooling in the school building. It's somebody's chapel that the president has offered us that we should be here until the room is completed.
This is the school Eunice has been posted to teach. An uncompleted 6-unit classroom block, a Get Fund emergency project.
Sometimes when I sit and think about it, I wonder, because if there is no school, so why do you then post me? But sometimes I just conclude that it's the will of God. Maybe God knows why He sent me here. Because of the kids, maybe He knew I have to come around and start, so the rest will help me. So I'm just holding on to that. Sit, stand, hands up.
About 6 other teachers posted to Noka Basic School didn't return to the community after their first visit, but Eunice Esiedua Japan was determined to rise above the difficulties and make an impact in the lives of these young ones. Let the mission begin, knocking on one door to the other and inspiring dreams. She gathered the children with the generosity of heart. Maranatha Power Ministry offered their structure.
It wasn't easy though, but I got help from the assemblyman and the pastor who gave us this temporary structure, that is Reverend Intiamwa. I had help from one man called Evans Mensah. He was the first person when I came to the place. He told me the structure will be ready very soon, so don't worry. And a lot of your colleagues have been around, they have come and checked the place, so don't worry. They will join you soon, and a lot of people are here, so you shouldn't worry at all. So those people, their words of encouragement, it brought positive vibes, and I decided that this time I have to start.
We're still live on JoyNews Today. We're coming to you from our studios in Kokomlemle. We'll be taking a break, but before then, as a reminder, Aisha Huang has been jailed for 4 years and has been fined for 48,000 cedis for galamsey offenses. Well, before we go on break, let's tell you about the over 400 residents who have been displaced by the communal ethnic clashes that took place at Nkwanta South weeks ago. Among the displaced are pupils of various school-going ages. The children are calling on leadership for the Nkwanta South municipality to ensure peace prevails so they can return to their studies. OT regional correspondent Peter Seno has more.
I don't feel comfortable here, because what is happening in Nkwanta is no good. It is affecting my school.
How has that affected your school for the past 2 weeks?
It has affected my school because I'm not going to school nowadays. I want to tell them that they should help in the progress of the school. What is happening in Nkwanta, they should help us so that we can continue our school.
The solemn voice of Bright calling for peace to prevail in Nkwanta. According to these youngsters, their continuous stay in a strange land would deny them the quality education they desire.
For now, I'm praying for God to let something happen so that we can go to school, because some days ahead we are going to write examination and we have not yet learned anything. We changed our school since last week, and just my first day at school they said fight, so we need to run.
There has not been any form of learning for them since they ran for their lives weeks ago. They have for the past days taken refuge with an uncle who feeds them with a very little from his farm produce. They tell Joy News living in a strange land has been difficult for them, especially access to food. Mabel is one of the Form 3 junior high school students.
Now I'm not having any book to learn, and I'm not going to school every day. I'm just in the house, so I just want the government to help us so that we can go back to school and go and learn. That place is very hard because what we eat is we are very it's very hard for us to get it. So we are begging from the government to get us something to eat.
They are just not picking up these yellow corns for fun. This would be roasted maybe as a snack and the rest milled for food later in the day. This is what 16 persons would depend on, or maybe less, since this would not suffice. Luckily, these 16 have enough space to accommodate them, but what to rest on and feeding are their immediate challenges. Currently, it is the hard comfort of these palm mats that keep their souls together. Exposure to mosquitoes and resultant contraction of malaria is rife as the rooms are without ceiling. They want support to enable them survive in a strange land. We have been here for 2 weeks now due to the conflict at Nkwanta. Feeding and accommodation have been a major challenge for us. We would appreciate any support from government. We are currently staying with my brother. He did not anticipate our coming, so we are managing the little he brings from the farm. Sometimes we follow other people to their farms in order to get food to eat. I am even convalescing, and today, what to eat is a challenge. For another set of 16 taking refuge in a church premises, the concerns are almost the same, except for this junior high school graduate, a champion, who does not know his fate, as the very little he could gather for entrance into a senior high school has been left at Nkwanta without care.
I've bought some of my things at home, like my chobos, my mattresses. They are all at home. I didn't even lock my room before coming here, and they are all there. I don't know whether they are safe or not, and I'm here. So I'm just thinking. I've prepared some, but here I am. I don't know where they are. I left all my things. They have to prepare. See, my parents, they are all here with me, and
And in Kumasi, traders at the racecourse market are recording low sales, partly attributed to the deplorable state of the roads in that area. Trading activities record significant dip in the rainy season as the muddy trading environment deters patrons. Attempts by traders to find a solution to the situation have yielded little results. And Ayajima has more.
To pave the way for Phase 2 of the KGTR redevelopment project, traders at the Kumasi Central Market were relocated to the Kumasi Racecourse. City authorities had to create road network and shelter to improve conditions at the location for traders. Traders had to occupy the spaces in expectation of improved roads, but the roads have deteriorated. In the dry season, the road is dusty, creating an unhygienic atmosphere for the traders. Conditions worsen in the rainy season, impacting adversely on trading.
The customers refuse to step foot here on rainy days. The whole place is messed up on such days. In the dry season, dust takes over our wares.
People refuse to enter the market on rainy days. If the person is not in dire need of the product, he will not enter. Efforts to get city authorities to fix the roads have yielded no results. The traders also made attempts to improve the situation through a self-help initiative, but little was achieved. Nana Chewa is market queen.
We have appealed to many people, but they refuse to help. We have endured the mud for 8 years. I was nearly arrested for consistently complaining over the poor roads.
Some supporters of the new patriotic party in the market sought the intervention of Chief of Staff at the presidency, Akosua Frima Opare, who has come to their aid. 15 trucks of building materials and 300 bags of cement have been delivered to support the self-help initiative. Nana Chewa expressed appreciation for the gesture.
The chief of staff is also paying the contractors of the project. No one else is involved.
The traders are hoping for early completion of the KJTR Phase 2 project, which will bring them relief. For Joy News, Nana Ojima, Kumasi.
Let's now take a break for business.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the business segment on Joy News Today with me, Pius Kojobaka. Interest rates returned to its upward trajectory for the first time in a month as the government continued to borrow heavily on the money market to finance its expenditure. Here's more.
Interest rates rose again after going down 3 times consecutively. Whilst the 91-day T-bill went up marginally to 29.56% from the previous weeks of 29.49%, that of the 182-day bill also set to 31.76% from the preceding weeks of 31.74%. The 1-year bill also increased to 33.44% from the earlier 33.23%. Meanwhile, the government ambitious target of 5.618 billion cedis fell short by 30.27%. For the second time in a year, the 364-day bill was highly patronized. About 1.854 billion cedis worth of bids were tendered, which the government accepted all. It was also followed by the 91-day T-bill, in which 1.33 billion cedis were accepted. The 182-day bill witnessed a subscription of 722.99 million cedis. The treasury market is presently the only source of financing for the government, as the bond and external debt markets have been shut down for now. This is due to the debt restructuring the government is undertaking.
Absa Bank Ghana was the most profitable bank in Ghana in the third quarter of this year. That's according to accounting and auditing firm PwC's quarterly analysis of the banking industry. Again, here's more.
This is coming on the back of the domestic debt exchange program. Absa Bank recorded a profit of 1.5 billion cedis in the first 9 months of 2023, about 103.5% growth year-on-year. It was followed by Stanbic Bank Ghana with an 84.1% increase in year-on-year profit to 1.1 billion cedis. Guarantee Trust Bank came third with 57.7% growth in profit to 847.5 million cedis. The least profitable bank in Q3 2023 was First National Bank with a 103% decline in profit to about 400,000 cedis. However, all the banks registered profits in the first 9 months of this year. For efficiency, GT Bank was first and it was followed by UBA and Absa Bank Ghana. The lowest ranked efficient bank was Consolidated Bank Ghana. In terms of market share, EcoBank remained the biggest bank in Ghana, controlling the share of deposits by 13.1% as of September 30, 2023. It was followed by GT Ghana with 10.5% and 9.2% respectively. The 3 banks also controlled the industry loans and advancements with a total of 34.2%.
And that's it for business. I am Pius Kojobaka. I will be back at 1 p.m. with the Marketplace. Sports is next.
Time for sports on JN Today with me, Haruna Mubarak. Now, the Black Queens are expected to hold their training session later today in South Africa for the second leg of the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Namibia. The Queens hope to get the job done on Tuesday after already securing a 3-1 advantage from the first leg. There's more in this report by Lawrence Baidu.
9 successive wins for Nora Hapto and the Black Queens. The game against Namibia was an opportunity to extend it to 10. They did, but it was never a walk in the park.
Coleman. Cynthia punches it away and finally holds on to it.
Namibia gave the Queens a run for their money before fading away. Doris Bwedua capitalized on a defensive error by Namibia, putting Ghana ahead. Shortly after, Skipper Portia Boachi scored a stunning goal directly from a corner, doubling the team's tally before the halftime break.
Straight into the net, and Captain Portia Boachi makes it 2 here.
The recess allowed the visiting team to regroup, and they emerged as a stronger side in the second half. However, their resistance was short-lived as Doris Bodua scored her second goal with a brilliant finish in the penalty box. Later in the game, the Queens conceded their first goal under the Swiss trainer as Portia Boachi's attempted header to her goalkeeper unintentionally found its way into Ghana's net. But fans present at the stadium were not downhearted.
Forest is growing, So, first of all, thank you for the support. We had a fantastic crowd tonight. Thank you for this. I think, these are special moments. Then after halftime, I think we continued. It was maybe not the very best performance, but you need to understand also that under this pressure, and it's a lot also just to bring a good attitude on the pitch, to fight in. I think we created chances. It was a good, spectacular game. Of course, we should have scored more, but in the end, we didn't get scored until now. And we'll focus on the Tuesday game. It's not made yet. And we want to go back to the WAFCON.
At the end of 90 minutes, a comfortable scoreline as far as the scoreline is concerned. But on the pitch, things were far from comfortable. Evelyn Bedu and Alice Kusi squandered crucial chances to make the second leg encounter a mere formality. The Queens take on Namibia on Tuesday in Pretoria, South Africa.
That's your sports. My name is Harun Mubarak. Up next is World News.
Well, you're welcome to Showbiz, and let's get straight into it. A listener of Joy FM, that is Sarah B, will be going on an all-expense-paid trip to Dubai for emerging as the winner of Joy FM's Loyal Listener promo. So the grand finale of the promo was held over the weekend, and my colleague Kwame Daze has come through with this report.
Some loyal listeners of the superstation Joy 99.7 FM were celebrated last Friday for sticking with the channel all these years. At the Hotel Cheche in Accra, 9 finalists of Joy FM's Loyal Listener promo were presented with various prizes after going through 4 rounds of questions about their knowledge of Joy FM. Sarah Agbe emerged the winner of the promo. As part of a prize package, she will be taking on an all-expense-paid trip to Dubai. Sarah could not hide her excitement when she spoke to Joy News.
I'm excited, simply excited, that's all. I know Joy FM. That's much I know, but that's I'll win. I didn't know I'll win. I knew it was for everybody's call.
The program's manager of Joy FM, Adam Naitete, expressed her appreciation to the listeners and the sponsors for making the event fruitful.
I've been preparing for this, thinking about how to pull it off. I remember yesterday I was telling Philip that I feel very nervous about today. I'm excited and nervous at the same time, but it's been a beautiful family gathering, and I am excited and very happy to be learning and knowing that you work for a brand that people love, that people will die for. You know, like, that's just it. Yeah.
Are we doing this again? Are we doing this again?
Are we doing it again?
Is it going to be an annual thing?
Are we doing it again? Is it going to be an annual?
Are we doing it?
I'm asking you. You are part of the
program's manager.
Yes, we are doing it again. We'll do it again and again and again, just to tell our listeners and our audience that we appreciate them. That's just the import of it. We appreciate them.
For Joy News, Kwame Dazi.
I don't know how loyal you can be to Joy 99.7 FM. Well, we're just trying to go through some of the programs on air, and it's very interesting. Well, I think that is all time is going to permit us. The name is Ibrahim Ben Bako. Aisha, back to you.
But of course, you have to be loyal. We're talking about Joy.
Joy FM, yes. And Sarah is going
Yeah, sure. She deserves it.
Yeah.
I mean, she does. Congratulations. And that's how I wrap up the bulletin. My name is Aisha Huang. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.